easier to get ready for an MMA fight than it is for a Muay Thai fight.
Do you think it's necessary to have training partners that are better than you to be at the highest level?
If I was Shay's coach, I'd have told her.
Who do you like prefer in the corner? Do you think it should be MMA guys or an MMA guy and a striking guy?
They should all have. That's the dude that like is responsible for Coach Trevor being Coach Trevor now. He'll train 4 or 5 hours a day. Like, why? And I'm like, I just love this. And he's like, interesting. He's like, what do you love about it? And I was like, man, how I can just like.
Was there one conversation that really changed everything, or was it just
Oh
your
yeah, it's one of our
relationship with
first.
him
Like,
over time?
I'm blackout drunk in a parking lot, and like there is like a lot of other stuff, and like I'll open up about it where it's like. Before I even went into a gym, I was like learning how to I was teaching myself how to do that.
EK and I are likely going to have fights coming up, and we were talking about it last night, like me, EK, Shay, and I think some other people were there as well, but just how like, you know, the guys with the most experience haven't fought since this new crop of guys have come in. Like since all the, like Zakia, Charlie, all these guys, since they started training, they haven't seen like me or EK fight or like any of the guys who've been with you for a bit longer.
You were gone. EK, we've just been telling him like I just need to see some focus from him, get his life in gear, and now that I see like he is training like an athlete, it's time for EK to fight again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys are like the more experienced. Like you two are the more experienced guys, like time in wise with me. What else is here? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, everyone else is like still pretty new.
Bobby hasn't fought in a while, like
years,
and like there's really been no one who's except Sam, I would say, who has like
Sam's
a good amount of fights.
Yeah.
But he does MMA, you know, which is good because all these MMA guys get to see him like train and kind of set the standard.
I'll tell people like MMA it's a really fucking hard sport, but it's easier to get ready for an MMA fight than it is for a Muay Thai fight.
Why so?
And it's like you see like the boxing too, the hyper focus on like just this one certain outcome. Like MMA has way more ways to win and way more ways to lose.
Yeah.
Where Muay Thai is just a different type, in boxing as well, kickboxing is that different like hyper focus.
I'm just gonna move this real quick.
Oh shit, my bad. I didn't even think about that. Where it's that it's just a stricter rule set. Like I see the same thing. Like boxing, you have to be so disciplined. You have to be so like on your shit, like to compete in Muay Thai, to compete in boxing. Where MMA, there's so many different fundamentals put in. Like there's different gaps. You can get away with gaps in MMA. You can't get away with gaps in your game in Muay Thai, kickboxing, boxing. Like your first couple you can, then after that, then it's like everyone's kind of dialed in after their first like 3 to 5. You see MMA guys fight their first 3 fights. They're going to keep having some of those same habits, depending on like what their coach like stays on them about. But you know, good Muay Thai and boxing gyms and kickboxing programs have like their guys past like 3 to 5 fights. Like they're tightening up every fight. Tightening up every fight. Where MMA, you can kind of just work into like your strengths. Where like no matter what in Muay Thai, you have to be kind of good everywhere. Boxing got to be good everywhere.
Definitely.
Way more of like a tighter. And that's just me. It's a tighter funnel. And I think that, you know, MMA is also just the sport of the future. So you're going to get more interest in that. And, like, I totally get it. I just happen to, like, punch kick more than anything else. Like, but, yeah, I think it'll be good to be motivating for, like, some of the kids. Because even, like, the kids that have been doing the throwdowns or, like, the kickboxing competitions been doing that to get ready for MMA, which is always kind of like one of my litmus tests for it. So it'll be good to have, like, the kids see, like, well, people are used to seeing Julia compete now. She's stayed pretty active with us since she's gotten here. I think it took, like, a year for her to have her first fight with us. Yeah, I think, like, people seeing you, EK, and Julia really committing to competing is going to be helping, like, motivate, like, the other Muay Thai kids. And the other kickboxing kids.
Now, let me ask you this. I feel like one of the best things for me when I started was I had Hunter, David Wright. Like, I had guys that I thought were significantly better than me that helped give me that push. Now I feel like, you know, at my level of experience, there's not many people with as many fights here at this gym. So do you think it's necessary to have training partners that are better than you to be at the highest level? And what would you recommend?
You do need that. You need, I call it like creating different generations inside the gym. Like the current crop of athletes helps the future generation. And that happens in like windows of time. Like when you first met Hunter, he just had a few more years on you. You met David Wright. He had a lifelong experience like Taekwondo, and he had trained like some kickboxing with me for a couple years, so he had that experience. But now it's just like, then you see where you're at, and now you're like that dog in the room, and it's your job to help kind of. You do a great job of like where you're helping build up other training partners. Like, you do that great to a T. That's why I also am so big on you guys cross training at other gyms. And like we take those trips to like Maryland and stuff like that.
I was just thinking about that.
You need that kind of like push.
Especially like getting ready for fights. Like now that you said that,
it's
like,
also not a very active like kickboxing and Muay Thai scene around here, so it's tough. Like it's MMA is a more competitive scene around here than the kickboxing and Muay Thai.
Yeah, for sure. So I'll probably go over to Aero like to get some rounds in with them and whatnot for the striking in Maryland. But yeah, I would agree.
8 Points Muay Thai would be a good spot to go check out. Like
They're
cool.
in Charlotte?
Winston-Salem, even closer.
Winston-Salem,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
nice.
Definitely worth a day trip out there to go get some work in with Chris and those guys.
Yeah, and it's good because I like to see the different
That's one of the top
styles.
gyms in like the U.S. Very traditional Muay Thai, very traditional, but like very rock solid. He's always evolving the program. I'm way more of like a hippie millennial, but he does a great job of always keeping like. And he just has like you just see he's like just a walls full of belts, and you're like, God damn! Like
Really?
he just has set that. But like that's all he does is Muay Thai.
Who are some of the fighters out of there? Is that where Dakota trains at?
Dakota.
You know, the 147 pounder.
No, wait.
If you saw him, you'd
I
recognize
might
him.
recognize him. Yeah.
Dakota Gray.
No. Dakota Gray is out of Lake Norman.
Lake Norman.
He's out of
That's
Lake
right.
Norman.
That's in Charlotte.
That's Lake Norman's like
Like close
past
to there?
Charlotte. It's
Okay.
actually I think like an hour past Charlotte.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
okay, so that's a trip.
Yeah, it is. But no, like there's been a lot of guys like Logan Howard out of there is a stud. Will Hutchison is a stud that still fights out of there. Those are bigger guys.
Yeah, I think Logan fought on the same card I fought Jacques. I think he headlined that card.
And then you have like Caleb Hunter you've met, like came up under Chris Clodfelter forever.
Oh, that's right there in Winston-Salem where Caleb trained all those years.
Yeah, that's where he grew up. And so that's where there's the Siegel brothers. Caleb Siegel just went pro. He's a stud. Like I was taking
Pro in Muay Thai?
Pro in Muay Thai.
He trains out of 8 Points?
Yeah, I've known Caleb since he was 6 years old. Now he's like 21, 22.
Really?
Yeah.
What weight does he fight at? Do you know? Like, is he a bigger guy?
I think he fights for like the 47 or so as well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
And yeah, I've taken Sam and Josh down there to go spar with him to help him get ready for fights. Like Chris hit me up and I was like, hell yeah, I'll bring the guys down. But yeah, definitely worth the day trip to go out there and check out. Totally recommend
I'll be
it.
doing that for sure. I'll be doing that now that we got fights around the corner. So, you know what else happened? Shay's fight was on Saturday. I mean, we can talk about that because that was quite the experience to watch.
Yeah, that was one of those things. It's like kind of like, man, I don't do well with like if someone comes to my gym, they already signed up for a fight. I'm kind of like, oh, there's only so much we can do.
Yeah.
If I was Shay's coach, I'd have told her like, hey, you're not going to sign up for that fight. I don't like it when promotions reach out to fighters and the fighter takes the fight without telling the coaches. Like that was like the atmosphere she came from before. Where like fighters will pick their own fights, and I'm like, don't.
Like she didn't tell their coach, like Brunson's
like she was told,
coach,
like she was just like so no, like she, like the promotion contacted her and she agreed to the fight, and then she told her coaches at Brunson's, but then she was also in the middle of moving here, so all we could do is try and get her as ready as we could. Yeah. And I saw nothing but improvements. You know, like Shay walks around at 23. This chick cuts down from 145, 150 to make 125. Yeah. She's big. I didn't see this. I didn't think this chick had anything that she could hurt Shay with. And I kind of thought like it'll be worst case scenario. This chick kind of like lays on her. Yeah. And I talked to Shay, like Shay did, like we all talked about how we all screamed in like the first round. We're like, and that's one thing Talia harped on Shay so much about, like the breaking off the wall, looking for those strikes right away. Yeah. And there were like just times like I looked at it with Talia and I was like, I wish I was there to give her some advice, like in between rounds of like when she dropped her, like Shay dove on top of her. Yeah, that's the last thing you want to do.
Gave the girl a chance to grab her.
Yeah, exactly. Because like Shay's mindset is like, oh, if we're wrestling, then I'm wrestling. I'm like, no, the fuck you're not. Yeah. No, you're always fighting. And like that's one thing I had to break down, like what competing in MMA really is for Shay. So it's really good that she got to train with us and she had this fight. Because she noticed like there were some habits she had before, and those are the things that kind of like put her behind. Like sometimes she'll try to look for a hip toss at the wrong time. She'll like still hold on to the head at bad positions, which I say like never do that. There were some times where I can tell like she had frames and it sounded like the corner was like trying to tell her to like strike back, like to wrestle back instead of like break off and strike again. So like there were small windows where I was like, those would have changed the fight completely for Shay. Then you know, but I still saw, like, I talked to Shay, and I was like, man, I saw nothing but improvement. Like, she apologized. I was like, don't, like, I mean, it's a fight you shouldn't have had in the first place, but now you've had this fight. Like, Shay even said she got punched once in that fight. Cool.
Yeah, she was in there training last night. Looked fine.
Looked fine. Had no damage done.
No
and
damage.
I told her, I was like, look, man. So now it's like I told her, I was like, you've got like a knack for fighting. Like her natural aptitude. Like she's so rock solid. Well, she has like good bases for her like striking, for her jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. But now that she's here, it's like she's going to college on training for MMA and how to apply MMA like for a fight. So I told her, I was like, hey, what you're about to do, like you couldn't even imagine that you're about to be as good as you're gonna get. Like you're gonna be such a good pro. Like if you keep this attitude, her ability to fight and listen. Super impressed with Shay.
Yeah,
like
that. Awesome.
That was really cool to see. Like I've always been a fan of hers, just because she's just a good kid. I can see her. Like I just see when she competes, she just is in the moment so well. Even I was like, I saw like when like Shay walked into the cage, she looked at the kid, but then I liked the look that Shay was giving her opponent while the chick was like getting greased up, and I was like, oh damn! Like Shay's like she's just like looking over, and I'm just like, oh, what's this? Like, and it's like these little faces on people that you don't see in the gym, but like in that fight, like Shay was like, I'm gonna hit this bitch, and like you just see it on her face, and I was like, damn, she's got some of that stuff that you need to be really good at MMA.
For sure.
So I'm super excited for her future. I can tell, you know, with her, the addition of like the strength and conditioning she's doing, making sure we keep her in the proper weight class of 115. Like she's got a great build for 115. She shouldn't be at 25. I don't think she'll ever be a 25er. I think it's really good that we're gonna kind of help steer her in like her career. I'm super excited for what she's gonna do.
Nice. So
I think I'll probably get her a fight in May.
In May? Yeah. Isn't there one like start of May that you were talking about? May 8th.
May 8th. Yeah, they're trying to Fight Lab. Actually, I got a message from the matchmaker. I gotta send in some names for that card already.
Who are you thinking?
Shay, Damon. I'll still throw Zakia and Will down. I told them I was probably gonna throw them down on that card too. Who else has fights? I'll see how Rob's knee is doing. Maybe get Rob on that card.
What about Sam?
No, Sam just wants to stick to fighting in states where he can throw elbows and knees.
Oh, where's that going to be at?
This is going to be in Charlotte.
Oh, okay.
So then there's like the card in April that Vic and Sam and Caleb are on. And that'll be in Virginia.
You put my name in for that for Muay Thai?
I did. Yeah, I put your name in for that.
Nice.
I texted Dave the other day, and he was like, yeah, I'm looking at some names. And I was like, all right, cool, just let me know.
Yeah.
But that could mean anything. You know, no fights are guaranteed. It's frustrating, but always got to try and keep putting the feelers out there.
What about TCB?
TCB, EK has a matchup. There's a new matchmaker, and Adam was going back and forth with him and got the gyms mixed up of like where Adam is like coaching out of now. It's not because he was trying to like I think the promoter was trying to match up you and EK together.
Bruh, come on.
Like it was just like one of those funny like situations.
That's funny.
Yeah, but TCB, we should have you on that card by the end of the month, I hope. If not, we have April. If not, then we just keep. It's just like one of those like, God damn it.
Yeah. I'm kind of coasting around 179, 180 pounds.
Nice,
so
solid.
Yeah, I emailed Johnny Davis like, hey, like, I don't have a match. Like, what do you think? No response. So obviously, I'm not going to start cutting weight for that.
Dude, yeah, I don't even really bother with IKF stuff if Johnny's involved in it, man.
Yeah, so not going to do.
We'll keep an eye out for like the Virginia stays pretty active, like those CSC cards that you've gone up to. I'll put your name in for the next one on that.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. And then hopefully we'll get some stuff going soon.
I mean, Ascend is coming back. Like, I mean, it's like, there's always things to look forward to, but it's like tough. It's just like fishing. You're just like, what's going to catch? Fuck.
Yeah, like, I've never really had problems getting like fights. Like, cause I remember before I left, I was fighting every month. Yeah. I think it's just once we get the ball rolling.
That's it. The biggest thing is getting that ball rolling. Man.
Yeah, like the first fight, the second fight.
When you get that first fight back, it's easier to stay in gear with it. You were about to say something with like Shay's fight, I think, and then I just kept rambling.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you. So, what advice would you have given her? The first thing I think of, like, when she knocked the girl down, like, what would you have been telling Shay? Stay in the corner.
Stay over her, but don't get on her.
Like, don't lay on her.
Like, don't jump on her. Don't jump on her. Like, stay over her. Like, strike down.
Yeah, hips in.
Keep striking. No, like, not even hips down.
Like, but hips in though.
No, I mean just like the way that chick dropped.
She was limp.
She was limp.
Yeah.
If Shay had just stepped back, the ref might have called it.
Yeah.
Like, she was that bad.
Yeah.
But Shay like dropped her and then dove on top.
And the girl got
and immediately. But like no, like if you drop someone like that, like you don't follow them. Like depending on like what they do, like you stay over and like you punch down, you keep your feet away, you put your hand on the head when they start recollecting, and then now if you like that head control, like you're not hips on anywhere, but that head control will force them to usually go turtle or go to guard. And if they go to turtle, then you don't exactly attach yourself. You keep head and hips. You attack knees of the body. You attack knees. You trade off posts. You keep attacking the side of that head. Fuck them up. 100%. Just keep fucking them up. If they happen to go to guard, then you just stand back up. Good, they're rocked. Get them back on that feet. Don't be in a rush. Pick them apart. Make it a fucking 10-8 round.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's like the big, and I told her like that's like the thing to look for. It's just like those finishing habits. Like Shay had the instinct to throw herself on top and strike. Great, great finishing intent.
Yeah.
But just time and place, and that's the problem. Like MMA is like the windows, like what to do. Sometimes we see a big window, we jump too much through it, and that's all that happens.
I've done that as well before.
Everyone has, dude.
What about between rounds? What would you have said between first, second, and third?
I'd have told her like just be a bit more mindful of like her angles. Sometimes when you land a good strike, you will put yourself back in front of that person. And this chick was like just always like we just knew this chick was gonna come out and try to grapple and grab. So I just like told Shay to stay on like your angles, stay offline. That's why this chick had a hard time getting Shay down, because like Shay would be in front, and then she would change levels, and like Shay would start getting offline when she changed levels, but then you're still like a half second too behind. They can still touch you. Yeah, I mean, there's not too much I'd have like told her to change differently on the feet, more just her wall work habits, because she was doing a lot of right things. Like she was constantly readjusting head pressure, looking for frames, changing her feet positions and stuff like that. Then there are just a few calls where like I think her corner called for her to like try and go for a takedown. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, and that's one thing I told Shay, where Shay was like, well, I think if this girl wrestles me, when I wrestle back, I was like, don't do that. And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, are you a wrestler? And she said, no. And I was like, so don't do that. Like, do you want to punch and kick this bitch in the face? And she said, yeah. And I was like, how do you do that when you're wrestling?
Right.
And she's like, oh. But that was just like the gym she came from. It was just like they do kickboxing, they do wrestling, they do BJJ, and they just make them spar together. But like even like that gym's warm-up habits are, they warm up kickboxing habits, take their gear off, they wrestle, and they do some jiu-jitsu rounds, and they put their MMA gloves on and spar. And I'm like, that creates so many holes in your MMA game.
Well, because you're just focusing on one sport at a time.
Yeah, you're not doing MMA.
Yeah.
Now you're just doing 3 different sports at once, which no shit, that is MMA, but MMA is its own thing.
Yeah,
mixed martial arts is mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
It is not just kickboxing a little, boxing a little, wrestling a little, jiu-jitsu a little. It is everything all at once, all the time.
Yeah.
And so that's just like kind of like what I saw. Like if she was doing just a grappling match, maybe those could have been there. But like in MMA, everything changes so fast. So I just saw like there were a few moments, like I said, like she did get a reversal in that second round, but like she tried to like keep that chick on the wall. I think she was looking for a takedown instead of like break off and strike. Break off and strike again. Like that's where she did damage in the first round. Like the window was there. And then I think third round was like when she held on to like the chick's head, and I was like, no, why are you doing that? Like it's like one of those things where I think like every kid it's instinctual to like grab someone behind the head if someone's trying to take them down. I call it a Street Beast headlock, like a World Star headlock. Like it's a street fighting headlock. You know, it doesn't really do much. Like a lot of people have that instinct, oh shit. But like she just held on to it for too long. Like I'm screaming, going, let go of that, let go of that, let go of that.
And get what, the wizard or frame?
The wizard or frame. Underhook. Something other than like that is such like you don't do anything with that. Like there's no control.
Yeah, I got you.
That was it, but I mean, otherwise, I saw nothing but improvements from like her first like couple days in here to that fight. I was like, I'm really glad she was in camp here, because it could have been a way rougher fight for her if she hadn't had like someone like Talia on her all the time. Like Talia gives her way more problems than that chick could have thrown at her.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like her old coach came in. He was like, "Wait, has her jiu-jitsu gotten worse since she came in here?" I was like, no, the level of jiu-jitsu is just better than what she's used to working with. And like when he saw her like on the ground doing ground and pound, I was like, yeah, Talia's just a motherfucker to wrestle with. Like a lot of females will like tie up with Talia and go, how long did you wrestle for? And she's like, I never wrestled. Like she's just strong. She's just committed. Yeah. Like it's just different. She could just like throw Shay around a little bit. And you know, but that's just it. That's also kind of coach I am, where I'm like, I'm not gonna tell your teammates to like, hey, take it easy on them.
That's what'll make her better. Like we're just talking about like having that level above to train with.
Yeah, like one time Talia was helping someone get ready for a pro fight, and they told Talia to like pull it back a bit. Like Talia wasn't like even going that hard. She was just better than who she was sparring with. Ends up dropping the girl with a body kick. Like, don't do that. And Talia's like, but I watched this chick's fight. This is what she's gonna do. And then the fight unfolded, and literally, it's like this girl was fighting a Brazilian clone of Talia. Like, I mean, step for step, strike for strike. I was like, and then homegirl got stopped with a body kick.
No way. Are you serious?
Yeah, and I was just like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, stop fucking, like, it's a fight, man.
Yeah.
Like, and that's where sometimes people that have, like, a good grappling background will try to instruct people on, like, what to do in a striking match, and it's, like, tough shit. Like, it's the nature of the game. Like, I've taken jiu-jitsu friends to Muay Thai fights, and they're like, this is insane. And I'm like, yeah, it's also why I don't call jiu-jitsu a fight. Like, jiu-jitsu doesn't teach you how to fight. And I don't get offended. If someone wants to get offended, we'll talk about it. But unless you're getting punched in the face, it's not a fight. Combat jiu-jitsu is more of a fight than a jiu-jitsu match.
Yeah.
It's a match. Like, look, could you get your arm broken? Could you go to sleep? Yeah. Could you die if there's no ref? Yeah. But the pressure and the presence of being struck in the face and the body over time is a completely different zone than wrestling and jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
and that's where like you'll see like a grappling coach might like someone but more grappling heavy as a coach for MMA will say, no, you got to pull that striking back.
Yeah,
because it's just not going their way. They're tough shit. Like when I met John Shell and I was coaching, like I knew John Shell for a while. And when I was coaching him, I was like, look, man, this isn't jiu-jitsu. Like stop trying to shoot your face into stuff so much. Like stop it, But yeah, that's it. Like it's just like one of those things you've gotta. I don't like what I have to make you guys go through. It's like my least favorite part because I know it feels awful. I know it sucks. I know it's hard. But that's what you sign up for.
Yeah, it's true.
Like a ski instructor doesn't sit there and go, "Oh, gee, sorry you fell down the hill." They just go, "No shit, you fell down the hill. You're supposed to do that. Then you're supposed to get back up. You're learning how to surf. You fall off the board."
Yeah, so jiu-jitsu guys kind of say those type of things to MMA fighters. Who do you like prefer in the corner? Do you think it should be MMA guys or an MMA guy and a striking guy?
They should all have some recognition of like what they're doing in MMA, and that's why even like Lopez came here primarily as like a boxing coach. And now you'll see like when he and I like such a busy man. Is it important? Is it your mom?
Don't know who it was.
Okay. Dude, if it's an unknown call, I'm always like, maybe I'll get back to it.
Yeah.
And then, who knows, I probably lost out on $1 million. What were we just talking about?
Lopez.
Oh, yeah, Lopez, when he came in, like, he was just a boxing coach. And he had done, like, a little bit of Muay Thai back in the day.
Yeah.
But now he's, like, starting to see, like, the kind of students I have with the Muay Thai guys and MMA guys. Like, damn, these guys are, like, really fun to work with. And I'm showing him, like, the nuances to mix up between like where to make your calls for like MMA. So I believe like in your corner you should have like someone that's a bit more striking focused, someone's a bit more jiu-jitsu focused, and like one person really all in on MMA.
Yeah.
But these other two guys, no, like the guy with like the most MMA experience should lead the corner. And that's one thing I always did well. I could like lead the corner into like who's going to be talking about what, even though I was more of a striking guy. Like I knew when to like talk about like someone take over for wall work, someone take over like when it hits the ground, and then I'm back on like when it depending on like where their position is on the feet. But yeah, you always got to have like one main MMA, one homie that's a bit more grappling focused, one more that's a bit more striking focused. But those two need to know MMA. They need to know the athlete.
Yeah, for sure.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, who's cornering Damon?
As far as I know, Adam, Lopez, and Talia.
Nice.
Yeah.
So kind of like same thing, Adam with the MMA, and then.
But it's still like rock solid Muay Thai and BJJ.
Yeah.
And then you have Lopez primarily striking, but there for like reminding him like what to do with hands and stuff like that. Talia is there to help kind of give cues for like MMA and stuff like that. And like also Damon I think because Damon's married, like to a short fiery woman, like he listens to Talia really well. So I'm like, hell yeah, dog, like do it, yeah.
Nice. That's sick. Yeah, and then Julia's fighting too. So Damon and Julia, it's fight week for both of them.
Fight week for both of them. Julia was looking sharp this morning.
Yeah, I see her very locked in. And
I love
kind
it.
of focused. So what kind of things are you going to be telling them to do during fight week? Like light training? Are they going to have any more hard sessions?
No, there's no more hard sessions. It's more just like sweating and shaking it out, man. Just staying tight, staying locked in. Kind of having to keep the fight outside the ring, so they can focus on being in the ring.
Yeah.
And like the big thing of like being a coach is like just kind of checking in on like how is the fighter feeling this week. Like of course you're gonna feel beat up, tired, hungry, mad, irritated, fucking stressed because they're about to get into a fist fight. But it's always that just like, hey man, like talk to me if you're feeling anything off. Like, if you need a pep talk, I can give a pep talk. It might not be what you want to hear, but we can talk through it. You know, like Julie and I, we meet like once a week, and we just talk. We just talk. I'm just like, how's Julia feeling? What was frustrating? Trying to talk about like your conscious and your subconscious between like life and fighting. The same thing with Damon. I'm just checking on him. Just like, hey man, like tonight with Damon, like in the MMA class, like, what you want to do tonight, dog? Like, you're weak. What's up? Like, I already knew like Julia loves like start-stop drills. And that's why like she's always like, she like grins every fight week because she knows I'm make her do start-stop drills in class. With Damon, I'll be like, yeah, what you want to work on, dog? Like, what you want to do? I'd be like, shit, you guys want to just like hang out and talk for a bit? We can just fucking do that. You know, I'm always open for that on fight week, kind of. But it's never anything too hard. Like, it's just a shakeout week, nothing too nuts. Yeah.
Nice. And I'm guessing it'll be like pretty similar the week of Fight For It for all the guys. Yeah,
just kind of like check in everybody because we'll have like quite a few guys on that card. Be like, hey, how you guys feeling? How's everyone doing? What do you want to do? Like last night with like pad work for Damon, and I partnered with Vihan. I was like, hey, tell Vihan what you want to do. Tell Vihan what you want him to throw at you. Make it MMA. Even though it was like Muay Thai pad work, I was like, yeah, just do MMA over here in the corner, man. Shake out, have some fun, relax. It's the same thing for the fight week kid or fight lab kid. I'm sorry. Same thing for fight week for Fight For It. Fuck, what a tongue twist. It'll be like, how you guys feeling? What do you want to do in class today? Like, I'll still have like general class, but for the individual athletes, like, what do you want to do right now? Like, you have to do something. Like, don't go nuts. Like, what do you want to shake out and do?
Yeah, I got you. So this weekend, you're gonna be going to Fuqua?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm there.
And then are you hosting the UFC fights here, or no? Probably not.
Oh man.
What are you
thinking? See. Well, there's a big fight this weekend.
It's Holloway and Oliveira.
Oh.
Yeah. That's the fight this weekend.
We might just have to find somewhere in Fuqua to watch it or something, man.
Maybe, because I know, I think their card starts at 4.
5. Is it 4?
Maybe doors open at 4.
I think doors open at 4. Fights start at 5. Yeah. But then, we'll.
We'll have to see when
we'll have to see like when they fight. Like, I'm always a sucker, man. If I'm at fights, like I love nothing more than being at live fights.
Yeah.
Like, this is just a ring inside a basketball gymnasium.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm just like, let's go. Like, this is like being at metal shows like when I was a kid. And I'm just like, let's go. Like, I fucking love being at live fights. I will definitely want to see the Holloway Oliveira fight. So I think I was trying to get a vibe on like the room because like we've got other homies on the card. Like we got Demetrius Rudolph from Shell Shock. He has a fight on that card.
MMA?
I think kickboxing or Muay Thai.
Okay, that makes sense.
Big Jesus has a kickboxing title on that card.
Jesus?
Yeah, he's got a title fight.
He's fighting?
He's the main event.
He's the main event?
He's the main event, dude. Yeah, so that's why I was like, we can't miss the homie Jesus.
Yeah,
like,
no, we can't.
So we'll have to be like, I think we'll be in the crowd probably like watching our phones and fights at the same time. Like, we've all done that.
Is it a kickboxing fight?
It's a kickboxing match, yeah.
Is it against Rudolph or no?
No. They're not going against each other.
No. Okay.
Jesus has had too many fights to face Rudolph.
Yeah, but he's fighting for a title, a kickboxing title, the main event.
Yeah.
Do you know who he's fighting?
A dude.
Just some guy.
I haven't seen him for this camp. Yeah.
Where's he at then? Jesus.
He trains at the PAL Center in Lillington. And that's where he started boxing at. And he trains under one of my old coaches, Robbie Adams. I know Jesus and Hunter like train together like all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Robbie Adams, he's the one that was at IKF that one time in Myrtle Beach.
That was Chris Bright.
Chris Bright.
That you met in like the hotel room. Yeah, he came by and like checked in on everybody. Yeah, that was Chris Bright. Like that dude changed my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude, huge role model. Like Robbie Adams was like someone that helped train Chris, and they were really good buddies. And Robbie always gave me good insight, like when I was younger, and like to this day. But no, yeah, you met Chris Bright. That's the dude that like is responsible for Coach Trevor being Coach Trevor now.
Yeah.
That dude. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember you telling me about it. But what is he up to now? So where does he?
Chris Bright is now helping out over at Apex Martial Arts Center in Apex. He just lives around the corner from there. He also has his own like gym in his garage, and he does like personal training out of there. I know he has like some corporate job now because everyone just grows up at some point. So
yeah. When did you break off like from being like his student?
I want to say it was probably like, I don't feel like I ever stopped being his student, but like he did get me to start training with this guy Aaron to like get more Muay Thai looks and stuff like that, and I would always still just go to Chris for advice and like be in my ear for MMA. And then like I really stopped training to compete in like my mid-20s. So at that point I was like, I'm just gonna hold pads and smoke weed and hang out. Like that's it. Yeah. So But no, like Chris has always been like someone I look up to and someone like I'll go to for advice, and just like kind of remember like what kind of person he is, the kind of coach he was to me is like why I'm so like he's very open arms to everybody, but he'll keep it real straight with you. Like, and so that's where I'm always gonna say like he's gonna be my coach. Like, I always call him Coach Chris. Like he's always coached me, just like Adrian that comes in here. He's always Coach Adrian to me. Always and forever. You know, if you guys get to meet Mike Vallata, who I really hope you guys get to meet.
You really kind of broke down the impact Chris had on you. But I think it's been a while since we talked about it on the podcast. Like maybe it was one of the first ones, but kind of like what kind of impact did he have on you?
Oh, he let me know I'm not a fighter. Best advice I could have gotten as like a teenager, dude. He was like, dude, you're not a fighter. I was like, I fought. And he's like, yeah, not well. And I went, ow. you know? And he was like, look, man, you're just young. You're trying to get into fights to like prove yourself. Like, stop it. Like, you don't. He was like, what really, and he was the kind of guy, and he's the first person to really ask, like, what really draws you to showing up every day like you do? What really draws you to this? Because you are not a fighter. Like, you can fight, but you don't have the thing to be like a fighter. Like, I can go and get beat up for 3 rounds, doesn't mean you're a fighter, you know? And that's what he helped. Like, he saw, he's like, man, you're the first one to the gym. Like, you're here before 6 a.m. You're the last one out. You'll train 4 or 5 hours a day. Like, why? And I'm like, I just love this. And he's like, interesting. He's like, what do you love about it? And I was like, man, how I can just like, I feel my entire body and I can turn my head off and it puts me in this space where everything gets better. And he's like, everything's better when you're doing this? I'm like, yeah, everything's awful, but it's still better than everything else I've been through. And he's like, okay. And he's like, what's something that you get out of, like, what do you like about being with teammates? I'm like we're all going through this thing together. Like, it's like being around like a group of people doing the same thing really kind of helps you find your place in a pack and helps you find your place in the world. Like, oh, you're just surrounding yourself with people that want to struggle to make themselves better. Like, so he helped me kind of find the little pieces, like why I liked martial arts so much. And then he saw, like, one day, like, I was just giving advice to someone and he was like, dude, you're good at that. Do you enjoy doing that? And I went, yeah, I guess. Like, it feels like, and that's when it was like, it's very rewarding to see someone throw a better punch. Rewarding to see someone throw a better kick. Rewarding to see someone make an angle when you show it to him. And he went, oh, I think you're a coach. And I went, huh? And I was like, don't I have to fight a bunch to be a coach? He went, no, I never fought. And I went, that's right. Like, he competed in bare knuckle karate, like in old school, like he competed in jiu-jitsu tournaments, but he never fought MMA or Muay Thai. But he had such great like insight as a human. And so he really steered me down that path of like making me into a martial artist, which turned me into like being a coach, you know? So like he set that in motion where he saw that little knack where he was like, okay, dude, I think you're kind of finding like your path through martial arts. Like, it's not always like you know, when you take driver's ed, you're not all going to be race car drivers. Like, you know, like just because you're in the gym doesn't mean you're going to be a fighter. But he was like, dude, there's something about like the martial, like he just showed me, he was like, yeah, you love martial arts because it's giving you the type of discipline you've always wanted. It's giving you the type of structure you've always needed. It's giving you this thing called purpose that everyone is looking for. Like when we're in a like later teenager, like 18, 19, 20, like you're a kid and you're searching for this stuff. And he was like, man, like you found it, but now like start categorizing like which parts of martial arts are like changing and tweaking and like get it in gear for you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Was there one conversation that really changed everything, or was it just
it's one of our first, like, I'm blackout drunk in a parking lot talking about, I'm a fighter, this, that. He's like, no, you're not. You're an asshole. Like, and I was like, he's like the first person to call me on my shit. And then I was training with him the next day.
Is that the first day you met him?
And that was the first time I met him, yeah.
Like, how'd you meet him?
Through my good buddy Rob Austin, who was a fighter that came up, and he trained with Chris at a gym back in the day. And he was like, man, I got to introduce you to this guy, Chris. Like, he's going to big brother you like he just big brothered me. And I was like, okay, cool. And like, I had seen him, like, we met at the gym. Like, we didn't have any conversations, but, like, he just saw me working out a few times. I'd come and try to talk to him. And then, like, he just saw me, like, pull out this bottle of, like, Captain Morgan. I'm just, like, watching fights, and I'm, like, pounding it while talking about fights. And he's like, what the fuck is up with this kid? And then I just got very drunk, and I was, like, talking about, yeah, I'm a fighter, I'm this and that. And he was like, no, you're not. Like, he was like, this is the first person to, like, call me on that kind of shit that I needed to hear. Like, you'd hear other people say negative shit, but, like, from him, it it was never negative feedback. It was just the feedback you needed to hear. And it's kind of how I like talk to you guys. Like, I don't sugarcoat anything. I try to be as like just fair and even, and I try to hold people accountable for like actions and attitudes. And like he really instilled that in me, like nobody else. Yeah.
So why did you call yourself a fighter?
Because I'm just an asshole. Like, you know, just looking for an identity.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out how to, like, I'm a dude that didn't have a dad. I was a dude that was raised by a mom. Like, you know, and so you're always looking for these ways, and like it's something I see every day. Like, young men have a hard time trying to figure out who they are. Who we are from like 15 to 18, two completely different people. You know, and so I had like these transformative years of finding martial arts and creating better habits after 15. I was like, well, I guess I'm going to do this. I have to be a fighter. I got to tell myself I'm a fighter. I got to make myself a fighter, to be a fighter, to be a man, to be a big, strong man. You know, like we all go through those fucking phases, and then you get hit in the face. And then you're like, maybe I'm not, you know. But like, you know, Chris, he broke it down for me. He told me, all right, come in and spar this kid that has a fight coming up. It was Mo, still the hardest hitting 135er I've ever met. He dislocated my jaw.
That day?
Yeah, like it was like 2 days later. Like he dislocated my jaw.
In sparring. And
I was like, oh, man. And like it got punched back into place. Like I couldn't talk for like a couple weeks, but I was right back at the gym.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, interesting. And I was like, what? And he's like, I thought you wouldn't show back up. And he was like, why? But it was more like, and it's because like my jaw was fucked up. He was like, no, that jaw popped out. You got your ass, but you came right back in and asked like what to work on. And I was like, yeah, I'm always going to have that. If someone beats my ass, I'm going to ask them like how they did it.
Yeah.
And he was like, interesting, you know, because like a fighter will show up, but like a fighter is also going to fight. A fighter's not going to convince himself they're a fighter. A fighter is a fighter.
So
a fighter fights. Me, I was just, and I had, at that point, I had just had like a couple of kickboxing smokers.
So I
had fought like in Virginia a couple times, but it was like, but it's just me, but like they weren't any kind of contest. Like I got beat up in kickboxing a couple times, had a couple MMA fights, and it was like one of those things where it's just like, oh yeah, I'm not that thing. I need.
Were you training like at another gym or something?
No, I would just like hop around to gyms. Like I would pay drop-in fees. Like it's, I was kind of like an independent where it was just like I'd go in and like when I had extra money, I would go in, pay drop-in fees, get as much out of a class as I could, and then train it on my own for a week. And then like there's another gym in town, like this O2 Fitness, this guy Mike Vallada that I was talking about. He was doing jiu-jitsu privates. They had like these cheap like rollout mats, and I would always be like, I'd ask other guys like, hey man, you guys like just get in my guard and punch me a little bit. And I'm always like trying to do it myself because there weren't really many MMA places around here at the time. There were people fighting MMA, but I just didn't like how they were doing it. And I was kind of like, yeah, I just kind of want to figure this out for my own. And I've always been that way. Like but Coach Chris, he was the first person I really looked at. I was like, oh, this is my coach. Kind of like a baby duck singing, like it's mama duck for the first time. It's like, coach, you're coach now. Like,
what did you think about the other guys that were coaches or that you would drop in for the private? Like, why did you not just be like, this guy's my coach?
I think it's sometimes just like attitudes, like confidence and arrogance are very similar. And like some people were just like too high on themselves while being like unchecked, unchallenged. Like you could see people like focusing way too much on one thing instead of being well-rounded. Where Chris's belief, he's like, no, you need to be well-rounded. He said, like, you had the wrestling background, you've been learning kickboxing and boxing, you've been piecing jiu-jitsu, you've done judo, but, like, you're piecing together, like, a whole product of MMA. And I was like, that's what I see MMA as. Like, I kind of saw MMA, I think because I saw it from, like, a young kid and I saw the growth of it, I was like, damn, it's, like, all these different martial arts. It's not just one thing. Like, you'll go to a gym and it's like, damn, I feel like we just did jiu-jitsu with boxing gloves on. It wasn't really MMA. And I was trying to find MMA. And, like, I would travel to Virginia. I'd go up to Hybrid in Virginia Beach where my brother was at, get my ass beat there, and like, okay, cool, see you guys at the fights, bye, and like, see you guys in a month, bye, like kind of stuff. I would just travel, and that's where I was kind of, but I feel like that's the journey I needed to take. I've encouraged that, like younger people, like, you know, your first couple years, like find the gym that you feel like you can grow at the best, and then go there. And then me, like it just happened to be this little LA boxing that opened up in Cary, and I was like, it's not far from my house, so I can jog there if I need to. And I was like, this is where I'm gonna be at every day to do MMA. And that opened up when I was like 20, I think.
Okay.
Ish, 19, 20, yeah. Like, so like pretty young still. Yeah.
Well, where was the first place you ever went to? Like, did you like Google like gyms and everything? Like, how did you?
There wasn't Google.
Oh, it wasn't Google.
There wasn't Google. It was.
Really?
I started training in this time called the 90s.
How did you find the gym?
Yellow Pages, dog. Like you look up
What?
ads in magazines. Yeah, you look up martial arts schools in the area.
No
There
way.
wasn't shit. Yeah, there were like a couple boxing gyms. Like Jawbreaker Boxing opened up across the street from Cary High. So it's
The same one in downtown?
in downtown Cary. Yeah, so like the
With
one
Remy?
that where Remy's at off of 401 now. And then it was like that was on Glenwood, and then before that it was in Rapid Fitness, and then before that Jawbreaker opened up in Cary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's a small Jawbreaker Boxing that opened up in Cary, and I'd go in there.
Was like Remy the guy?
No, Remy wasn't even training. I think Remy was like just training then. That was it was still run by Paul Marinaccio and Bonnie Mann.
Oh,
Both
okay.
huge influences to me as well.
Okay.
But let me close those doors real quick. But yeah, that was like the first boxing gym I really checked out. A lot of people were still at Rima. This is when everyone was still at Rima.
Everyone like pros or
like not I mean like some
everyone
pro
in the
like this is
scene?
like the guys that like own gyms in the area now. Guys like Brandon Garner was training out of there. Billy was training out of there, and that's where like the core of like the
Raleigh
Raleigh MMA kind of started. But everyone was like kind of doing like
Out of Rima.
jiu-jitsu practice, Muay Thai practice, and put on MMA gloves and sparring.
When
And
is this? What years? You know.
that was I was 15. So I found Jawbreaker when I was 17. Found it. It opened up across the street. 15 years old, I was dabbling around at various martial arts schools, and then there was this place in Cary. It's like this big franchise called ATA, but they used to have like for like the senior student, like, but I wasn't even a senior student. I could just throw hands and kicks, and they would do kickboxing, like pad work and drilling, and I was like sick, and it was good, but like it wasn't competitive. But I was just kind of good at getting hit in the face and hitting people in the face. And I was like, okay, yeah,
He's like
okay.
15.
15.
The first
to
place
16,
you went to
yeah.
to kickbox?
Yeah, and that was like the first place.
Oh,
and
okay.
like they were like, damn, you've got like some footwork. And I was like, yeah, like I got a bag at home. Like I hit it, and I could just do stuff well. And I would like, that's when I started like really going home and like putting tape on the ground. Like that's when I started like learning
You
how to.
already had a bag when you were going to ATA?
Yeah, I
You
like,
had the bag
my
before you
mom
went
used
to
to put
ATA.
us in like timeout, and she would lock us in the garage with a bag, and she's like, "You're gonna hit that bag until you're not mad." And
Did
it's
she
like,
buy
"All
the bag for you? Or did you say, I want a bag to train?
I don't know. I think she just got sick of us like punching each other in the walls.
You and your brother?
Yeah, me and my siblings.
Yeah.
So she got this bag, like someone gave it to her. I think her now current husband had it, just like he found it in one of like the storage units he owned. And he was like, you guys can have this. I mean, it's like this old Everlast bag from the 70s,
Yeah.
made of like canvas, like jean material. And so
Right.
I literally, I took
Yeah.
socks, and I didn't have any hand wraps. And I would take like a couple pairs of socks, like long tube socks, and I'd cut them down the middle, and I would just turn those into hand wraps to like hit the bags with, yeah.
How did you even know what hand wraps were? But you
Because
watched UFC.
I just watched people, like I'd watch boxing, I'd be like, oh, people have to like, because I'd be hitting the bag bare knuckle, I'm like, well, my knuckles are bleeding, this is bad.
Oh,
Like
I
my
see.
wrist hurt, and I'd be like, oh, I need to wrap my hands, and like kind of just like learning it as I
Yeah.
go. And then I was at that ATA place for a bit. And then I focused a bit more on dabbling around to Jawbreaker, Rima, and then the O2 Fitness that had like some mats in it. And like that was like my circle for like 3 years or so.
But you weren't at like any of them really?
I didn't really like, no, there's just some people. One thing I've noticed is like that generation, a lot of people were getting into martial arts and they were already an adult. And that's one thing I see has been a big shift with the combat sport culture, the MMA culture, the Muay Thai culture in the US, where now it's a bunch of people getting into it as kids.
Yeah.
So they're growing up learning these things. And like you're a teenager trying to learn this, but you're talking to a guy who didn't start training Muay Thai until they were 25. So that is a completely different mindset to start with. Sometimes there's a lot more insecurities and egos with that. Like when you're a kid, it makes you way more honest, way more moldable. Does that make sense? So it's kind of just like, man, I don't care about this tough guy shit. Like people, like a lot of the advice I would get would sometimes be like, oh, you just gotta train harder and go harder. I'm like,
really?
the fuck does that mean? You know?
Like in this period of time when you were going
like
to
that's when
Rima
like you're
and
just trying to
O2,
like you're going
that's
like
what people were telling you.
that's the kind of advice you would get. Like
Yeah.
I learned how to fight through boxing, through like Paul and Bonnie. Like they'd teach like, hey, how to measure, how to engage, how to control the ring, how to step off. Like people would say like, hey, throw a combination step off, and it's like give me drills to like do, like that's why you see everything I do is so like drill based. It used to be kind of like, all right, we're gonna do some pad work. All right, now it's spar.
That's what like.
Okay, let's do like these combinations back and forth. Okay, let's spar now. You're not learning anything. You're just getting hit and getting tough, which you do need. But I was already like, dude, according to my stepdad, I can take a really good punch.
Yeah.
And people would be like, wait, what? And I'm like, yeah, man. Like I already know I can take a punch.
Yeah. You weren't there trying to prove that.
No, I was like, I'm just trying to figure out. And like there is like a lot of other stuff, and like I'll open up about it where it's like when you come from like a very bad physically abusive household, like you have two choices. You can be a product or a victim, and I refused to be a victim of my stepdad. I chose to be a product. Okay, if I'm good at getting my ass beat, I'm gonna turn that into a superpower. So even me, if I could go 3 rounds and I'm not knocked out, that's a win. Not really a win, but I'm just like, all right, cool. I know I'm tougher. Like I know I can get tougher and that kind of stuff. And so I like the day in, the day out training kind of like, and that's why I kind of navigated towards like wanting to like be a good coach and pad holder, because I can take abuse all day. I mean, now I can't, it sucks, but like you know, the path of martial arts kind of helped me realize like, oh, I'm a product of my childhood. Like although these were some pretty horrible things that happened, like I chose to be a product. Like, okay, I know I can get my ass kicked. When you know you can get your ass kicked, life gets way easier, because life always kicks your ass. Always, always, always. The more you pursue something that you truly want to do, the more life is going to kick your ass. So I chose to be a product. Like a product of the bad days, a product of the bad moments, a product of the bad mornings, evenings, nights, whatever, you know. So that was like a big steering point. And I was like learning, and then like when I was going into practice, I was like, no, I really want to learn how to fight. And they're like, well, you have to go fight. And I'm like, no, you need to learn how to fight before you get in the ring. And like, but that's just me. Like I was like, no, like there's like street fighting. Street fights just start. If you're getting beat up by a parent, like it just starts. Like a fight, you and this other guy have to meet in the middle and like start fighting. Yeah. You know? So whenever I went to gyms, I was like, yeah, I want to learn, like, can we do, like, I'd always be like, hey, can we just do, like, simulated drills of, like, offense versus defense? They're like, no, you have to just go spar. That's how you work on your defense. I'm like, that didn't make sense to me. Yeah. But at the same time, I also knew, like, I didn't know anything, so I'd never say, like, well, I think it should be done this way. Like, that's how I was thinking, but I was just like, I feel like it could be done better. Yeah. If that makes sense. Like, you don't teach a kid how to walk by pushing him downhill. I mean, in my household, that's how it happened, but, like, a lot of times, like, I just believe, like, you know, I'm always, like, because I saw fighting happen, I'd be like, oh, man, like, I could see the strategy, I could see the ringsmanship, I could see the differences in technique and stuff like that, and that's what I was always searching for, like, that problem-solving of martial arts. But it also taught me, like, a valuable lesson of, like, oh, you're a product of everything that happened to you. So be a good product. Yeah.
So who was the first coach you went to, and, like, you're like, this does make sense, I like the way that...
Chris Bright.
Yeah.
Because he talked about being well-rounded, and I was like, yes! Yeah. He was like, yeah, before you go into your first MMA fight, you got to have jiu-jitsu competitions, you got to have kickboxing matches, and then you can go fight MMA. But we were still learning how to piece together MMA, because at that point, MMA was still less than 10 years old. Which is wild to think about, how much it's done in like 30 years now. Because now it's a sport. Yeah. And back then, it was just like a pissing contest of like, dudes that are like former college wrestlers, former college football players that ended up getting into martial arts as adults, just trying to prove themselves. And I didn't like that, you know, like that was like the attitudes just weren't good at the time for it. Like that, the leftover culture of like the 90s and like the late 80s and like the tough guy shit. I was like, man, like if you're doing this, like you're tough. You become tough by doing this.
The UFC was around? People like were
it was still around, but it was still like very hard to watch. Like pay-per-views, maybe like 3 or 4 a year. Really? A lot of times you're like rewatching old VHS tapes. Yeah. Trying to find VHS tapes from like Japan and stuff like that.
Is that what you did?
Yeah.
Like you were trying to watch fights like that?
So it's really funny. The LA Boxing that opened up in Cary opened up in this storefront that back in the day used to be called Carbonated Video. And that's where I'd go get the old like UFC VHS tapes from. So like life came around like full circle at that little shopping center in Cary. Carbonated Video had like they had a section full of like, man, that's just my life falling apart over there. Don't worry. It was just like they had like it was the only place in town. Like Blockbuster didn't have UFC VHS tapes because they only did like corporate stuff. But like Carbonated Video had like all kinds of I liked because they did like obscure movies and like really weird like sports tapes. Like they had like extreme sports section, and UFC was in the extreme sports section. So I was always like bring those VHSs, going home, copying them, taking them back and stuff like that. Like the lady that ran the checkout, like she was a YMCA counselor and knew me, and she was like, "Yeah, you're good, kid." Like she wasn't supposed to rent these tapes out to me, but like so I'd go get like old Pride tapes, old UFC tapes, and I'd have them at home. I would cut out like QR codes from martial arts magazines, save up like 25 cents for like a postage stamp, and like send in these proofs of purchases. They'd send you a Boss Rutan like training tape. I would take those VHSs, watch them. I'd be like, okay, he's putting a piece of tape down. I'll put a piece of tape down. And that's where like I tell people like the reason I can still throw strikes well is because I spent so much time like watching and studying like how to throw a strike properly, like learning strike habits, learning how to apply it properly. And you'd get like one or two good nuggets from like each tape.
Yeah.
And I'd just try to keep that like knocked away in my head notebook somewhere.
What were some of the best things, like tapes that you saw, or like people that you watched that you like took the most from?
So really, Boss Rutan, like there are like some old Lions Den's tapes with like Ken Shamrock and those guys, but Boss Rutan did a good job of breaking down striking for MMA. And it was still very raw. But like he would go over like how to throw a switch kick, put out two pieces of tape on the ground to like look at where your feet stay on track. Looking at like having a piece of tape, looking to step off line for angles for takedown defense and kicks and stuff like that. But even then, like people were kind of just going like, I did this because I was tougher, like, and they're kind of just forcing it to make it work. But yeah, like the Boss Rutan tapes were gold. Those were huge to watch. Who was another good one? Yeah, really, it was like Boss Rutan was putting those out.
When was this? Was this like when you were watching these tapes? Was this the same time you were going to those 3 gyms, or was this?
No,
like
this is before that. This is before that.
At home with the bag alone.
Yeah.
Before you ever went into an actual gym.
Before I even went into a gym, I was like learning how to I was teaching myself how to do that. And
because you had the bag that your mom gave you, or why did you feel like the need to learn?
I don't know. It just made sense. I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, what the fuck? But like, she was a great mom. Like, she supported me like trying out martial arts. She didn't like the thought of me being a fighter, but then like it was like after a couple years I was like, I don't want to be a fighter. I just want to do this. Like I want to have a couple more fights. But like she pointed out, she was like, man, you have a knack for coaching, not so much for fighting. And I was like, I appreciate that. Like that's great parental advice. But yeah, I was like teaching myself how to do stuff on a bag. But like it was like it wasn't just, like it went from like even like how I talked about like doing the videos, like finding like a goal behind it. I was like, okay, so like I've realized this, like the bag was like a punishment because I was mad, I got in trouble, I'm throwing a hissy fit over fucking something. All right, get in the garage, go hit the bag until you feel better. And I would feel better. Like when you're young and you're mad, and you're pissed off, and you're just wailing away on this bag, like suddenly you're like, damn, okay, I feel better. I'll go do my homework. I'll say, yes, ma'am, I won't talk back. Like, sorry, you know? And then I was like, all right, cool, I enjoy this. Like, what else can I do to enjoy this? And then I'd be watching a fight. I'd look at the bag and I'd be like, I'm gonna do that combination on the bag. I'm gonna do that combination over here now. Oh, if I take like this Boss Rutan instruction, I put this piece of tape in front of the bag, now I've got a strike line.